When thinking about life, remember this: no amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. The subject of today's story is Jay Potaments, a 23-year-old woman and a single mother. After recently divorcing her husband, who was serving with the US military in Germany, Jay was living with her young boy in Leland, North Carolina. Jay started dating again after she landed a job as a waitress at a restaurant in Wilmington. She also tried to sell her waterbed in an advertisement on her local newspaper to support herself, not knowing that this ad will change her life and the ones around her for the worse. On the morning of February 23rd, 1987, Jay was busy organizing a little celebration for her son's second birthday. It had been a hectic morning as well, since an hour earlier, she had finally sold the waterbed to a man who had seen her ad. On that same day, she received a phone call from her mother. It appears that her mother had already offered the waterbed to another man due to a simple miscalculation, but because she had forgotten to take down the buyer's phone number, she was unable to contact him back to cancel the deal. The problem was, her mother had already given the man instructions to Jay's residence. Jay convinced her mother, Lauren, that a modest apology would defuse the issue. Therefore, her mother finished the call after being comforted by her daughter's words. Later that day, Lauren attempted to contact her daughter again to confirm the sale's success, but Jay didn't answer the phone. After each try, Lauren would get more concerned and eventually drove over to Jay's place. When she arrived, she could see something was seriously wrong. The front door to her daughter's house was wide open. Lauren came inside and heard Jay's 2-year-old child screaming in a way she had never heard a boy cry before. Lauren quickly searched the house before entering an upstairs bedroom, and there was Jay, lying in a blood-covered mattress. Her chest was covered in numerous knife wounds, and her throat had been slit. Lauren discovered her 2-year-old grandson in another room, alive and well. When she asked him whether he was okay, he just answered, "Mean man hurt mommy. Mommy, cry." Jay's murder shook her hometown to its core. The public was made aware of the discovery of a newspaper clipping of Jay's waterbed at the crime scene, which appeared to corroborate that she had been murdered by the same potential buyer her mother talked to. Lauren, Jay's 63-year-old mother, was so devastated that she suffered a heart attack a few months after local media brought up the matter again in 2007. She allegedly experienced such a crushing sense of remorse after giving her daughter's killer her address that the stress nearly killed her. She always claimed that if she had come sooner, she might have been able to stop the murderer, and she felt that perhaps things would have played out differently. On the day of the murder, Jill, the sister of Jay, was on her way to Jay's house from her home in Colorado and didn't get the horrible news until she got there. She said that it was scary and a true nightmare, that one day they are planning a birthday and the next she was simply gone. "I can't think of anyone who didn't like Jay. She was a lovely person who loved her kids, and it is incomprehensible that someone would wish to harm her in this way." Angela, who was Jay's cousin, had been living with Jay in the months leading up to her death, and she told the investigators that Jay had been receiving a lot of unwelcome attention during the previous several months, and she suspected at least 2 or 3 guys had been harassing her. She also stated that one of the men used to shower her with red flowers and even showed up unannounced at her workplace to try and woo her. Another would scrape out the words "I love you, Jay" on her cousin's gravel driveway. Angela quickly added that while Jay gently but firmly rejected her possible lovers, there were a few who simply struggled to let go. One time, when Angela answered Jay's phone, she heard a gruff man on the other end of the line, yelling obscenities and threats of violence. That was a sign that she was getting some frightening phone calls. Then, barely a week before the murder, Angela heard Jay crying in her room, and when she tried to ask her what was wrong, Jay said she had just awoken from a nightmare in which a guy was attempting to kill her. It's as if Jay sensed what was about to happen. After the investigation was delayed due to failure to identify any probable suspect, a shift of resources slowed the hunt for Jay's killer, and it wasn't much before the case went cold. In 2016, an officer named Israel West was assigned to lead the inquiry once more, to see if anything had been missed by chance. During a news conference, he stated that even though several suspects had been questioned throughout the years, we still won't consider Jay's case cold. It's simply unsolved. Although Jay's residence was located on a busy main road in a community where people walked or cycled throughout the streets on a daily basis, it was the most confusing element for detectives over the years, because no one knew how Jay's killer was able to enter and exit her house without being seen. It's almost as if the killer knew exactly what he was doing, or even worse, he already knew Jay, and that this wasn't some random stranger. Knowing that this man has never been caught for Jay's murder only leads to one question: how many more women did he kill? If there is one thing we know for certain, justice wasn't served.